Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Thanks for tuning in on this rainy, kind of gloomy day. We had some really bad straight line winds that went through this morning. I was pretty happy to see that we did not lose any trees because they were some of the strongest winds I've seen in a long time. We lost a few branches, but nothing serious, and I'm happy to see that. But it has me thinking about a question that I get all of the time, and it has to do with fishing in the rain. So specifically, one, does fishing in the rain matter? Like, does it affect the fish? And two, what are the best baits to use while fishing in the rain? So my first answer to that is fishing in just rain does not have much of an impact on the fish. In fact, I think there's times that fishing is better in the rain. I think there's times you get that front comes through, it activates the fish, it just creates motion, gets things moving around, and I do think you can have some really good fishing while in the rain. On a day like today, when we had consistent lightning, thunder, crazy winds, and a crazy front blow through, to me, that will put the fish in a lethargic mood and make fishing tougher. So I definitely separate the two from just fishing in the rain and fishing in a thunderstorm. I do not think that fishing in a thunderstorm is smart to begin with, but I don't think that the fish are generally in a very reactive mood. I think actually a lot of times, I think if you have a thunderstorm in the morning, I think it could take some substantial amount of time before those fish will become active again and set back up in a feeding mode. But if you are out fishing in the rain, I have 3 baits that I feel will excel more than most general baits. So much so that I will switch, if I was fishing before the front came through, catching them on a jig, and all of a sudden it starts raining and that jig bite goes away, I will go to these 3 baits and have consistent success. And I think there's various reasons for it, but overall, I do think you might want to switch baits while fishing in the rain. So the 3 baits I have. The first one is a lipless crankbait. This is a Berkeley Warpeg, one of my favorites. I will begin covering a lot of water with a lipless bait. I really, really like a lipless bait when fishing in current and fishing in river sections. I do think that the fish will become active when you do have a front comes through that just rain. We're just talking rain, guys. And the lipless allows me to cover water and it calls fish in well, it's raining. So if it's got a decent rain coming down, that's creating sound on the water. I want something that's loud, like a lipless, that will draw fish to the bait. It will allow them to separate the bait from what's occurring on the surface of the water. So a lipless crankbait for me is a really, really good bait to throw in the rain. The next one is a spinnerbait. This is just a War Eagle spinnerbait. It's definitely one of my favorite spinnerbaits to throw. But again, this is similar to the idea of the lipless. I'll get out on grass flats or, in current. I don't think the fish are as affected in current nearly as much when it's raining. But I want a bait that I can cover water with and a bait that will give off some noise, some vibration. A chatterbait kind of falls in the same line as a spinnerbait. But one thing I really like about the spinnerbait is it's creating flash, but it's not a ton of flash. It's not like on a sunny day where you can see a spinnerbait in clear water coming in from, 50 feet away. On a rainy, overcast day, I want something that's got flash that will separate the bait from all the flash and the splashing that's going on the surface. I just feel like a spinnerbait has always been a bait for me that has caught a lot of fish in the rain. The last, and my favorite bait to throw in the rain, and this might make the least amount of sense, but man, I tell you, when people have asked me for years, what do I throw in the rain? This is the first bait I always talk about. A buzz bait, guys. This is the Canterbury Dirty Jigs buzzbait. A buzzbait will get bit in the rain more than any other bait I know. And it's for a couple of reasons. One, it's on the surface. So you'd think, why would you throw a surface bait when you've got, raindrops hitting the water? It's all going to blend together. Well, a buzzbait does a couple of things. Yes, it's creating surface motion, which is somewhat blending in with the rain, but it's a straight line of commotion. So it's leaving a bubble trail and it's leaving a wake. The key with a topwater bait in the rain, like this buzz bait, is you now have what you always want when fishing a topwater, is you now have something on the surface that's making that topwater bait blend in a little bit. Normally, that's what people complain about. Oh, it was too flat to throw a topwater bait. It's too clear water. The fish can see it too well. They can't see it well right now. They can feel it. They could get a little bit of flash from the blade. And when you've got a trailer, like I like to throw a toad style trailer on this Dirty Jigs buzzbait, you've got something they can key in on. I usually like to throw a black or a darker silhouetted frog, which gives them something that they can separate from the surface of the water and the bait. So I like to throw dark colors, but it's kind of the best of all worlds when throwing a topwater bait. You've got something that isn't sticking out so drastically. It's got noise, it's got squeak, it's calling fish in through vibration. You've got a dark bait that's running along the surface, and active fish will key in on that. And in my opinion, this is the #1 bait to throw while fishing in the rain. So guys, don't let the rain chase you off. Don't let you think you can't catch them in it. If it's just a steady rain all day, or it's just a rainstorm that came through, the fish aren't going to change much. They may change their positioning. Remember, if you've got overcast, low light conditions that a lot of times you have while it's raining out, those fish are going to disperse from cover. They're not going to be necessarily tight next to a log or in a clump of milfoil or, down set up on a laydown. They're going to start roaming around. And that's why all three of these baits work well in the rain. You're covering water. You're finding fish that have left their home to go take advantage of the low light conditions to feed. And that's why this is so important. You can still catch fish flipping trees or casting the docks, but docks are never as good when it's not sunny out. This is the same sort of thing. When it's raining out, the docks aren't nearly as good because the fish have spread out. So you need a bait to cover water with. I recommend a buzz bait, a spinner bait, and a war pig or your favorite lipless crankbait, guys. So those are the 3 baits I recommend. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Stay tuned. We got new tips and videos coming out every day. Thanks for watching.